Hello? Gosh dang it. I started the stream, but I forgot my stream sign was on and my microphone was. Oh, good lord. I'm so annoyed. I was saying so much stuff. Oh well. Yes, I'm professional streamer who leaves the starting soon sign on and forgets to check the microphone. Anyway, next I did the chill cop. Now I'm on to the hard cop against Mr. Tolliver because it failed, of course. But anyway, let's continue. I am a dumb bear. Forgive, but we will get this done. What the heck? What the heck? Uh-oh, my computer's getting freaked out. Oh, there we go. I am a dumb bear. It's okay, though. Well, Mr. Tolliver. Mr. Tolliver remained motionless. Rollo spun around to face him. He'd clearly expected to rouse Mr. Tolliver with his booming voice. Mr. Tolliver? Beck and Luca gave each other an unsure glance. Rollo slammed his fist on the table. I said, Mr. Tolliver. He grabbed the table lamp and beamed it onto the unconscious face. Mr. Tolliver groaned and slowly lifted his head. He recoiled with a muddled, weary squint. What in the world? The chair wobbled as he attempted to straighten up. Who's there? Mr. Tolliver could only make out rough shapes through the glaring light. With a gruff tone, Rollo hoped both to conceal his voice and intimidate. I'll be asking the questions here, punk. Now hold on, let's just calm down. Oh, I am calm. Calm as a carrot in dirt. As for you, looks like you're sweating. The doubtful expression on Beck and Luca's faces transformed into awe. We can do this my way, or... let's just say, I've never needed another way. Rollo, hitting his stride, was now channeling every detective trope his memory could recall. He slammed the table again. Now dance. What? I don't even... Mr. Tolliver's voice became desperate. He was nearly in tears. You've tied me down. How on earth could I dance? Dance with your mouth, punk. Spill the beans. What are you doing poking around this house? I'm here to help Juniper. To make sure everything's ready. Oh, so you're in cahoots with Gran? Gran? Mr. Tolliver was in a daze, now more confused than ever. Gonna help her blow up the festival, eh? Blow up the festival? Good lord. He shook his head, feeling more and more dizzy. No, you got it all wrong. Where is she now? She's headed to the source. Source? What's the source? It's where... His voice faded into a whisper. The town began. Where it all began. What's Operation Sparkplug? With that, Mr. Tolliver passed out cold. Rollo swung around with repentant grimace. Damn, Rollo. I think you went a little too hard on him. What did he say about the source? It's where the town began. We need more information. Yeah, but we better not push Mr. Tolliver any further. Is there anyone else who might know more? What about the History Museum? It just got set up for the festival. Nah, that tent was put up by the Valentines. Everything they do is just a bunch of fluff to glorify themselves. Is there anything more reliable? The library. If there's any information about this source thing, Cato can help us find it. Let's go get some answers. This is a dang nice library. Thanks, we work hard on it. Aren't you a little too adorable to be a librarian? Kato hung out here so much, eventually they gave him a set of keys. I just keep an eye on the place for Mr. Novak sometimes. They got you working for free? It's quiet and I get access to all the books I can read. What more could a person want? Fair enough. What can I do for y'all? We need a favor. I already told you in Rollo. I can't put you any higher on the wait list for the next Hinkatomic. And if you're here with more candy, I'll have you know I can't be bought. Call it a personal code of conscience. Actually, we're looking to do more research. Ugh. Now you're speaking my language. What are you looking for? That's the thing, we sort of don't know. What do you got in the history of the town? There's the country record archives. What's in those? Births, deaths, newspaper clippings, stuff like that. Pretty boring reading, but they do go all the way back to when the town was founded. Great, we'll start there. Whew. Another chapter done. Hope you guys are doing good. Eating some snacks. I'm getting another drink of water. Ooh. I can't wait to see it. I was trying to tell you how I thought about it over mic, but apparently you couldn't hear me. You even responded as if you could hear me, so I got really confused. But I'm glad you're having fun with it. Okay. Chapter 8. 6 feet under, 3 towns over. The kids spent the rest of the afternoon combing through dusty old piles of old country records, desperately searching for anything that could help them make sense of Mr. Tolliver's cryptic utterance. Luca tried to shake the thought of Gran's basement, but his focus wavered. Explosives? Hidden messages and jam? Dossiers on various town figures? And a corkboard threaded with photos? Gran was the only family he'd left. He still couldn't bring himself to believe the worst. But the old map with a symbol of explosives in the town square made that difficult. As the sun began to set, the kids were no closer to the truth. If I have to read any more records, my eyeballs are gonna pop. We have to keep digging. If I dig another word, I'm gonna end up in one of these asinine death records. Rollo Cotter lived a full and wonderful life, till he had read so much boring crud that his brain oozed out of his ears. Rollo shut his book with an assertive nod. Ooh. You have so many different favorite parts of this game, Bahamut. It is a good game, though. I really like it. If you've got a better idea, spit it out. You sound like my sister. Keep pushing your luck, pal. And it won't be a boring country records that kill you. I'll put you in the obituaries myself. Rollo muttered under his breath. You're a country record. Really? That's the best you've got? When I'm done with you, you'll be the footnote in history. Just like... Beck slammed her finger down on the open page before glancing down to read. J. Hartford here. I'd love to see you try. Hey. We're all a little tired here. Let's just take a minute and... Something tickled the back of Luca's mind. Wait, what was that name, Beck? In the obit? J. Hartford. From the Brookfield Tribune 8 years ago. That can't be right. What is it? J. Hartford. That's my grand's name. Juniper Hartford. Maybe there were 2 J. Hartfords? Miss Hartford is survived by her young daughter, Eve Hartford. My mom's name is Eleanor. Okay, this is getting creepy. If your gran is 6 feet under 3 towns over, then who am I living with? I thought she didn't look like him. The question hung in the air. Either that or she's like, she pretended to die. Alright, gang, I gotta close up for the night. Beck rubbed her eyes. How late is it? Almost 10. Oh crap, Pa's gonna kill me. I gotta go. Yeah, my parents will be worried sick. Okay, let's meet up as early as we can at the festival tomorrow. What are you gonna do about the unconscious man in your basement? I'll think of something. I'll just eat him. Nom nom nom. He's dead. He's gone. No more problem. No more problem. Oh no, my hotkeys broke. Why does everything have to break today? Fixing my hotkeys really quick because I guess I needed to do that. Okay. Anyway. If he was lucky, Gran, or whoever it was, hadn't gotten back yet. And of course there was Mr. Tolliver, tied up and unconscious in the basement. Dealing with him would be the first order of business. Lucas shook out his arms to calm his nerves before entering. Ooh, spooky. He held perfectly still, tempering his breath, and listened closely. She was asleep. His only hope was that she hadn't found Mr. Tolliver before dozing off. Aw. I can't bother her right now, I guess. Yeah, we just left this wide open and Gran didn't notice. Oh no. Mr. Tolliver was nowhere to be seen. Maybe he woke up, escaped from his bindings, and left without a trace? Or maybe Gran knew everything. What do I do? Luca's hungry stomach groaned. Not realizing it, he'd gone the entire day without eating. Okay, I can figure this out. Just need a little brain food. Luca rushed over to the pile of jam jars, unscrewed one, and shoveled a handful into his mouth. Oof. I'm afraid your jam delivery will be delayed. He flipped the lid to read the label. Mr. Nuncreed. Okay, now I can think. If Gran knows we tied up Mr. Tolliver, I'm screwed. If she doesn't know, then I need to play it cool. I guess the only option is to go to bed and act as if nothing is wrong. Gran will think Mr. Tolliver finished what he was sent to do and left when he was done. Go to sleep. I don't have to put this back? Is Gran gonna jump scare me? What's all this spooky music? Go to bed and play it cool. Mixing up many voices, doing that. As Luca climbed the final stair, the emotion of the day dragged heavily on him. With each consecutive step, his legs weakened. His stride began to falter. He tried to grab for the railing to steady himself. Something was wrong. Oops, he ate the poison jam, did he? Come on, legs. Just a few more steps. Luca groaned and tried to move. His limbs might as well have been bolted to the ground. Through numb lips, he mumbled just before falling asleep. The germ? A sweet boy. What did you get yourself into? Rest now, and let me handle everything. Oh no, Jam and Gran killed him. Chapter 9. A speech to end all speeches. Luca awoke to find himself face down in bed. He moaned into his pillow. Why would Gran drug him? Or rather, why was she trying to drug Mr. Nuncreed? Shaking the questions from his woozy head, Luca snapped back to the matter at hand. The festival. The sweater needs to be washed. We've been wearing it for like a week now. Well, okay, maybe it hasn't been a full week. Because we keep going back in time. Where have you been? Gran Gran put something in the jam. Yeah, we know. Secret messages for secret conspirators. Not this one. The one intended for Mr. Nuncreed. Put me to sleep. Ho ho ho. Sly devil. I think she's trying to remove him from the... I think she's trying to move him from the equation. He might be in danger. Have you found anything? We looked around but haven't seen anything odd. Your Gran is nowhere to be found. But Mr. Nuncreed is just loafing around waiting for the speech. What speech? Mayor Gus just got up to the podium. Everyone is gathering at the stage. Let's get moving. Augustus Valentine nervously wiped his brow. Is this thing... hello, Beacon Pines. I'm Augustus Valentine, your mayor, and I suppose you already know that. Oh yes, before we get started, I just wanted to take a moment to recognize someone who couldn't be here today. This town wouldn't be where it is today without my father, Sharper Valentine. So I thought we could begin with a round of applause befitting such a great man. Even that's more than the old codger deserved. Gus cleared his throat and awkwardly loosened his tie. Right, where was I? William Kerr bounded on stage with the energy of a preacher at a big tent revival. Gus Valentine, everyone! He gave Gus a hearty slap on the back and motioned him off the stage. Let's hear it for our mayor. What a great turnout. Oh heck, I didn't prepare anything. But I suppose I could say a few words. Would be ashamed to waste such a beautiful podium. Mr. Kerr pulled a thick stack of note cards out from his vest. Community, conviction, commitment. These are the things we celebrate at Perennial Harvest. For us, those are the pillars of the bridge of a better tomorrow. Good Lord. I can't read, sorry. But I think it's time to add a new pillar. Change. Change is a powerful thing. It's inexorable, unavoidable, and undeniable. And I'm dadgum thankful for it. Change is the reason we're all together today. It's hard for me to believe that it was only 4 years ago when fate brought me here. A simple business trip, which brought me to a small town, which would change my life forever. Mr. Kerr took a moment to survey the crowd. You know what? He wiped away a single tear. From the second I set foot in Beacon Pines, something about this place has held me captive. You see, change represents opportunity. It represents potential. It was change that helped me recognize the potential of this place. Hey, thank you. Young Jack Raiden coming in with the follow. During a rousing speech, too. But it was change that helped me recognize the potential of this place. To see that the people of this town, despite suffering great loss, still held on to the things that made them special. He thumped the podium to emphasize each word. Community, conviction, commitment, change. Mr. Kerr nodded confidently, biting his lip. The crowd was silent, in rapt attention. Fate made a perfect match that day. Nothing is more important to you all than community. And Perennial Harvest is a community first and foremost. Mr. Kerr methodically made eye contact with each section of the crowd. The only way you made it through the foul harvest was an unshakable conviction. A conviction that a better tomorrow was just over the horizon. Perennial Harvest was founded on the conviction that we are the horizon. This festival is a symbol of our commitment to each other. His voice began to build to a crescendo. We now walk hand in hand into a future that we will shape together. And that's what change is all about. Grabbing the future by the scruff of the neck and making things happen. Change is a choice. I'm tickled pink that we will all be making that choice together. How great is that? Just imagine what we can accomplish. What was that? The crowd began to look around nervously. Don't worry, a little thunder isn't going to ruin this day. Everyone remain calm. Mr. Kerr quickly flicked through his note cards. Where was I? Through all my travels I have learned one true thing. One always reaps what they sow. We have all planted a lot of good in this town. And so, it is with a happy heart that I can proclaim. He raised his hands up to the heavens. Our harvest awaits! Whoop. At that moment, a merciless wall of impossibly cold air ripped through the crowd, instantly freezing everyone and everything it touched. For a man like William Kerr, this was a fitting way for things to end. On a stage, with an entire town frozen in rapt attention for the rest of time. The end. There's that ice again. Whenever I think we're getting close, it comes along and ruins everything. Maybe we should just quit. Maybe you should close the book, walk away, and never think of me again. No, I don't mean that. We got a little closer this time. We just need to try again. Please. Oh, there's another one here. Oh, there's too many choices. Let's go down this one. Luca's mind raced. He was caught in a trap. What do you do when there's no hope? Iggy wiped his cheeks with a sleeve. What are you gonna do, Luca? Luca drew himself up and decided to take the only option they had left. Flight. Yeah, I wanted to get back to Luca, or not Luca, but Iggy being a monster. He squinted down the barrel of the mission-controlled defense cannon, aiming it through an opening in the dense tree bushes. He looked up with a surprise as it struck true and taut. Wow, I can't believe that worked. Hey, Mr. Kerr. We'd love to hear your thoughts. I'm afraid we have places to be. Come on, Iggy. See ya, jerks. Sigh. Fine. We know where that leads them. This way, we'll take the tunnels. Luca and Iggy winced as they sprinted through the thicket. The branches clawed at them, reluctant to give passage. Blech. After what felt like a marathon, Luca stopped in his tracks as they reached a clearing. What the? That was all he was able to say before Iggy slammed into his back, taking another sip really quick. Another favorite. Everything in this game is a favorite. But we will get through this. Hoo-hoo. Oop, phone call. Okay, phone call over. The boys tumbled down a steep decline and crashed with a wheezing thud on a surface as hard as ice. In fact, it was ice. Chapter 5. Signs. They stood silently, catching their breath. The aliens were all around them. The sky was like sapphire. With each breath, a plume of steam escaped from Luca's lungs. Let's keep moving. Luca pulled Iggy to his feet and they gazed across the snowy terrain. Whoa. That was actually pretty badass. Uh-huh. I think we lost him. Are we up in the mountains? I don't think so. If anything, we went downhill. Then what's up with the Winter Wonderland? All I know is there's no going back the way we came. Let's see if we can get our bearings. Follow me. Huh? This looks like... Luca, are you there? Luca had almost forgotten the walkie-talkie he was carrying. It's that bozo Kerr. Oh. I hope nothing bad has happened to you out in those woods. Luca looked at Iggy with hesitation. No need to be rude. With a resigned sigh, Luca responded. It seems like the only dangerous thing in the woods is you. He speaks. He speaks, the young man of the hour. Now how in tarnation did you end up with one of our radios? Just lucky, I guess. Boy howdy, you Van Horns are full of surprises, aren't you? You know my parents? Never had the honor of meeting your father, but your mom sure was a handful. Luca winced, shoving the walkie-talkie back into his pocket. We gotta keep moving. Isn't this where his dad was buried? This is where the dandelions were? A disc of smooth metal was lightly covered in snow. 2 faint seams were visible along the surface. A manhole cover? If it is, I've never seen one like it. What's the readout? Sitting just above 258 Kelvin. That's down a bit from last time. Should we report this to Mr. Kerr? Meh. Still within safe ranges. It may be spreading, but it's under control for now. Even a small nudge in the equilibrium could cause a cascade. Dude, relax. Just a few more sites to hit before we can punch out. Let's get this over with. What's all this? Hard to say with all the snow. I think it's a town sign. I can almost make out letters under there. What town could this even be? There couldn't be another town this deep into Weepwood. I'm looking at evidence to the contrary. Let's figure out what we're dealing with here. Step 1. Snow's gotta go. I'll see what I can do. I need something to throw. Uh-huh. We're doing snowballs, are we? Oh, Lord. Make me look like a dummy. Aha. The boy stared in disbelief at the sign that now clearly read, "Welcome to Beacon Pines." This doesn't make any sense. We're in Beacon Pines? How's that possible? We're away from town. How did we get back here? Guess we got turned around. Where did all this snow come from? Well, it's been colder than normal lately. There's a pretty difference between sweater weather and this Arctic hellscape. The puddle we fought at before. It was cold too. Maybe all of it leads to one source. You think it's related? What the hell is going on? We're gonna get you some answers. Let's keep moving. Does stuff look familiar to you? It looks like the barrel near the puddle I shoved me into. Yeah. The fencing glistened. Each chain link encapsulated with a translucent layer of ice. Looks like the stuff they put up around Wheatwood. The stuff who put up? I don't know. It's all frozen. Looking down at the frozen stream, Luca could faintly see a school of minnows encased in the ice. Whatever happened here, it happened fast. The fish didn't even have time to run. Or, swim run. The crunching of footsteps, oof. The crunching of footsteps trailing Luca went hush. He looked back to see Iggy's face twisted with confusion. Everyone's gone. What? There's nothing here but more snow. There must be an explanation for all this. We have to keep looking. You can look all you want. I quit. Iggy, we have to keep going. You don't get it, do you? This isn't one of your pathetic Hink atomic stories. We aren't going to save the day. We aren't even going to save ourselves. My face is mangled. The town is destroyed. And everyone we've ever known is gone. We don't know that. We can't just quit. Do whatever you want. I'm done. Iggy, it's gonna be okay. Luca peered upward at the darkening sky. He let out a long, foggy breath. Faintly, Iggy began to cry. Seeing Iggy in such a pathetic state, gave Luca a sense of compassion and more than a little guilt. It is getting pretty late, I think. Probably not a good idea to stumble around in the dark anyway. Luca allowed himself to collapse next to Iggy. Let's just rest a bit. The boys huddled together for warmth and comfort. If not for exhaustion, their minds would be racing, trying to make sense of the events of the day. As it was, all they had energy for was to sit in silence, numb. The way the snow covered everything over. It's kinda calming. Yeah. I haven't had time to say it, but thanks. Huh? For getting us away from those creeps. I sorta froze up back there. Higgy, I should be the one apologizing. This all happened because I lost my temper. Nah, that's bull hockey. First of all, you didn't know what Gunk would do. You didn't, right? Of course not. And second, stop with this baloney about losing your temper. But I did lose my temper. Iggy motioned sarcastically to his half-deformed face. Obviously. But that's exactly what you should have done. Huh? I was being a horse's ass. You were supposed to be a horse's ass in response. That's how it works. Iggy, I'm having a hard time following. You wanted me to fight you? Of course. Geez, you goody-goody types get forever to understand this very basic point. Why would you go around saying cruel things trying to get into fights? Iggy shrugged. It's something to do. You're an asshole because you're bored? Sometimes I just feel empty. You wouldn't understand. You and Rollo are always having a blast together. Laughing and calling that dinky little treehouse mission control. Iggy now wept openly. Perfect little Luca Van Horn with his perfect little life. My life is not perfect. Everybody in town likes you. Not everybody. Hell, that new girl hasn't even unpacked yet, and even she already likes you. You have Tish. He wiped his nose with a sleeve. I love Tish. Tish is great. But she ain't exactly the world's greatest conversationalist, you know? Luca gave a warm chuckle. I get that impression. Iggy cleared his throat as he wiped his eyes. Huh. Must be raining out here. Definitely. Iggy arched into a wide yawn. We should probably try to get some sleep. Yeah. Let's lay low for now and freeze to death in this snow instead of going into the broken down building right next to us. Tomorrow we'll get to the bottom of all this. Luca's eyelids began to slowly drift shut. Luca? Yeah? I always did want to see the inside of your dinky little tree house. What did you think? Not bad. I'll give you the full tour when we get back. You know what? That's all Luca could whisper before succumbing to sleep. Iggy snuggled in some more. When it comes to the worst days of my entire life, this one wasn't half bad. Aw, that was sweet. The house smelled of warm bread. Luca was playing with toy blocks on the living room rug. He looked up to see his parents on the couch. His mother held his father's hand on her lap. She idly stroked his hair while humming a song. A voice behind Luca spoke. This is how you remembered them, huh? Luca turned to see his own face. The doppelganger from his dreams, still clad in a yellow hazmat suit, still carrying a look of disdain behind empty eyes. Aw, look at this perfectly cozy scene. You know it wasn't really like this. The figure picked up a toy block and inspected it. It's amazing the facades that one can build, given the right materials. Not that I blame us. These are a child's memories, all warm and fuzzy. You don't remember, do you? Luca snatched the block from the figure's yellow-gloved hand. Remember what? The doppelganger pointed to the couch. The last day we saw him alive. The day he chose to abandon us. Luca turned to look at his father, still lounging on the couch. That's not true. He didn't abandon us. The doppelganger waved his hand dismissively. Everything is true here. It's just a matter of what we choose to see. Let me show you. The world flickered and pulsed. Luca was sitting next to his bed, listening to his heartbeat with one of his dad's stethoscopes. The doppelganger limped into the room. Not now. We both know that's not how this went. He grabbed Luca's hands and guided the stethoscope to the floor. Luca heard muffled shouting, brought close by the stethoscope. It was his parents, fighting. Do you remember what we did next? Luca gave a slow nod and crept down to the hall to peek through the banister. He could see the outline of his mother at the bottom of the stairs. Have you guys been getting ads, by the way? It's supposed to tell me when it's about to do ads. I was gonna stop every time the ads came up. I don't know when they're happening because it's been an hour, so you should have seen at least 2 ads. Oh, okay. If you're blocking, it's okay. I don't mind. I'm just curious if anyone's seen any ads. He could see the outline of his mother at the bottom of the stairs. Damn it, Walt. We can't afford to get involved in this. She was scared. His father stepped forward. What am I supposed to do? Just watch? There's a sickness in this town and we both know who's behind it. I swore an oath to help people. I won't turn my back on them. Luca's mother grabbed Walt. She was crying. She was pleading. I can't lose you. Walt calmly removed Eleanor's hand from his shoulder. Walt, what's right is right. What's wrong is wrong. I could never live with myself if I let Sharper get away with this. Eleanor raised her voice. Spare me your bullshit platitudes. What about our son? Luca flinched, dropping the stethoscope down the stairs. Walt turned with a panicked smile. Luca, is that you, buddy? With tears in his eyes, Luca descended the stairs. Mom, Dad, what's going on? Walt dropped to a knee to meet Luca eye to eye. Nothing, buckaroo. Your mom and I just got a little overexcited is all. Luca placed the stethoscope against his father's chest. His heart was racing. It sounded like you were going somewhere. Walt gently removed the device from Luca's ears. Listen to me, Luca. I have some business to take care of. I'll be back in time to tuck you in. Luca hugged his father tightly. Promise? Walt stood up and walked to the door. He glanced over his shoulder. I promise. With a wink and a grin, he put on his hat and strode out into the evening sun. The figure approached soundlessly from the foggy snowfall. It stood above them, lingering in contemplation. Slowly raising one hand above Iggy, it snapped out 2 brisk raps on his head. From a deep slumber, Iggy sprang up defensively. Get your hands off me! Whether it was the calming presence or the recognition that he was not in danger, Iggy felt his clenched fists lower. Just what do you think you're doing? Luca looked up, gradually remembering his whereabouts. The figure exhaled a cloud of warm vapor. You two certainly have caused a lot of commotion. What's that supposed to mean? Take it easy, Iggy. We were asleep minding our own business. You're the one running around knocking on people's head. I'm sorry if I hurt you, Iggy. You didn't hurt nobody. Anybody. Huh? Oh, I see. You think you're better than me. You... When it came to complete strangers, Iggy had trouble cobbling together an insult. You big-hatted, scarfy-necked furball. Okay, let's lower the temperature a bit here. Interesting choice of words. I mean, let's just calm down. Who are you? A friend. An observer. A hitchhiker on the infinite expanse of possibility. Great. How about a name? If you must call me something, you can call me Nat. Iggy huffed with gratification. How about you make like a gnat and buzz off? Very well. Nat began to turn away indifferently. Wait, do you live here? You might say that. So you know where we are? You might also say that. Look, pal, we just want to find a safe way out of here. You gonna help us or not? Before knowing how to leave, one must know where they are. All right, that does it. Luca, I don't know about you, but I'm getting out of here one way or another. Iggy turned sharply and began to stomp off. Enough with the riddles. Iggy, wait up. Realize he'd worn their patient thin, Nat relented. Very well, I suppose this isn't the time for metaphors. I'll show you how to get back home. Luca and Iggy turned around with hope in their eyes. Come here. Nat took a deep breath in. Close your eyes. Nat exhaled slowly, then snapped his fingers. Okay, open them. For a brief moment, Iggy and Luca let themselves believe that some great magic was about to unfold, until they opened their eyes and found themselves in the exact same place, cold and disheartened. This is your home. This is Beacon Pines. Look, Nat, we don't know how we got here. Maybe we stumbled through some time travel gate in Weepwood, or we teleported to some alternate universe, or this is all just some cruel experiment by Kerr and his goons. But this is not our home. You're inching closer to the truth. Alas, the reality is much less fanciful. Just give it to us straight. So be it. As I said, this is Beacon Pines. The original, true Beacon Pines. You both grew up here. But the town you've called your home for the past several years is a replica. A remarkable achievement of engineering, to be fair. But a replica nonetheless. That's impossible. It's too much work. You'd need a whole town to replicate a whole town. Indeed, To pull off such a feat would require immense labor power. That which could be moved would be moved. That which could not would require a precise duplicate. We would have noticed. Someone would have noticed. You'd think so, unless the auditing was impeccable. A mind-numbing attention to detail. As for the innumerable trivialities which complete the tapestry, well, you can leave that to this miraculous thing we call a brain. It has a real aversion to discontinuity, a revulsion even. The brain has a wonderful way of smoothing out the rough edges, keeping us sane. Huh. I guess I'll keep watching to see what happens, but that's very interesting. I thought it was going to be something like time traveling or some sort of dimension hopping. But no, it's interesting. Luca and Iggy looked around uncomfortably. So you're saying that someone made an entire new town and moved us all and no one noticed? Precisely. But why? Why is the one question that can never be answered with certainty? The best one can do is to uncover. Nat narrowed his eyes, furrowed his brow, and uttered, "The source." Why'd you say the source like that? Why indeed? Luca began to laugh uncomfortably. It's all ridiculous. There's no way they could. He looked down at his feet. His eyes darted back and forth in contemplation. With a sudden pain, a thought struck him. If this really is home. He sprinted off into the pale distance. As Iggy turned to follow, Nat called out, "Iggy, it's not too late to turn back. Simply head west through Weepwood." Chapter 6. The Source. Huh. Just thinking. I'm taking all of that in right now. I might need to stop for a little bit and take a break. But I really do like where this is going right now. And I could probably pull off doing like another hour tomorrow. I think later I'll stream some Homebody. But mostly because I know some of you guys can't stay on for very long tonight. And I want to be able to finish the game with you, Bahamut and Arth. But for now, I'm taking a break. Ugh, my poor throat. Gotta figure out how to make... Well, it doesn't help that I ate some spicy food before I started. So, like, I'm already on that spot where I'm like... But I was very determined to just keep going today. Ah, is it almost done? I do need to take a short break either way. But if we're not that far from the end, I wouldn't mind streaming a little bit more a little later. That way, potentially, I could draw some characters from this over the weekend when I do the art stream. Oh, okay. No worries. But yeah, like I said, I can do probably another hour tomorrow before stream day. Because I do want to get a little further. Maybe another chapter into it, since it seems like each chapter is like 45 minutes. I mean, I'm sure certain chapters are shorter and longer, but we'd feel out an hour since I can see on the thing. But I'm going to quickly raid a channel really quick, if there are any channels to raid. I'll raid Sadistic Maxwell, since they've raided me. Be on your best behavior, since they are a minor. But raid commence.